How are we doing today? Woo! This is what, the third day of Taipei Cycle Show and the third day of the Bike Venture program. I saw some familiar faces who have been to our summit and who were here yesterday for the pitch and happy hours. Welcome back. Today we have another exciting event and program ahead of us. So basically for the very first Bike Venture program, where we're trying to bring in startup and innovation. First day, we had the innovation summit, where we had speakers from investors, startups, and corporates. Second day, we had our 10 startups showcasing what they're doing, and also meet with a lot of investors here at the Bike Venture Zone. Today, we're going to have 2 speakers to share their perspectives and learning, especially when it comes to cross-border and cross-industry collaboration, which is really the key spirits of the Bike Venture program. So I think, without further ado, let me quickly run you through the agenda. First, we are going to have Andreas from Pierer Mobility to talk about, at Pierer Innovation, a very special division in charge of technology scouting for the whole Pierer Mobility group. How do they do this? And why do they care about this? Afterwards, we're going to welcome Deborah Wu from KMC Global. She flew in from Germany, and she will share with us what is she seeing over there as a component company from Taiwan. What kind of opportunities, especially around startup and innovation, should we be more aware of? And afterwards, hopefully, we will have a little bit of time for you to connect with them directly and to hopefully share some ideas with each other. Without further ado, let's put our hands together for our first speaker, Andreas Krainer. Woo!
Ni hao, xie xie for being here. Don't worry, it's the only thing I can say, and I won't say any more in Chinese. Thank you. My name is Andreas. I do tech scouting at Pierer Innovation. Elisa already said, you know, that's interesting. So why do we do this? It's only 5 years now that we're doing this. It's because we've realized being a corporate, we know certain things, but we also don't know a lot of other things. So we felt there is a need to, thank you, there's a need to bring in more innovation from the outside. And where is a lot of innovation? That's with startups. So my role as tech scout is look for technologies all the time, and in fact look for any technology that makes us better. Better in the products, better in producing the products, better in marketing products, better in HR, in IT, in legal, no matter what. We can improve ourselves any time of the year, and we're open to any idea from anyone in the world that would help us be better and hence be better for customers. Okay, so this is what I do, and what I'm going to talk about is innovation at Pierer Mobility. Pierer Mobility, the name, you may not be very familiar with it. Pierer is the family name, so it's a family-run business. It's called Pierer Mobility. It's an Austrian company, Austrian family, and here you see a bit what we do. So we come actually from the motorcycle industry. We've been doing this for several decades. This is where over 90% of our revenue is, and we've a number of brands here. The number one is KTM. That's where it all came from. We've added many other brands. Husqvarna, a Swedish brand, GASGAS, a Spanish brand, lately MV Agusta, an Italian brand. We also resell CF Moto, a Chinese brand. So this is our core business, right? And we're very new to bicycles. So we call this division the new mobility. It's new to us, but it also is going beyond what we know. You'll see in a moment, our bicycles have a very sharp focus. They're all on performance. That's a niche within the niche of motorcycles. This is what we know. And we know in bicycles, a lot of other segments are much bigger, right? And we don't know them, like urban and transport and cargo. So for us, new mobility has two meanings. We also have another kind of division that does everything else. So for example, industrial design, innovation, that's where I am, software development, engineering, and so forth. So we're very heavy on R&D, on innovation. We bring up new motorcycles every 3 years. So every motorcycle is refreshed, completely redesigned, re-engineered every 3 years. So a third of our fleet is new every year, and the other 2/3 are actually updated every year. So we invest a lot in engineering. Okay, so just so you have an understanding what we're talking about, this is the kind of products we do. That's two-wheelers, powered two-wheelers, from like naked, very heavy, very fast street bikes, off-road, that's where we really come from. We own our brands make up almost 80% of the world market in off-road. That's the GASGAS, and that's bicycles. And we also have a supercar on the side for fun. One of the 10 fastest cars in the world. We have our brands. Our brands in bicycles are Husqvarna, GASGAS, Lightville, and Johansson. That's not our brand. It's an independent company, very successful company. We share the same heritage, the same ancestries. They even based in the same village as we are. A very successful independent company and brand.
I'm the president of KTM Bicycle.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for being here.
Show this individual bicycle. Please, you always show your own brand, not together with KTM.
We own KTM motorcycles. That I show that. Can we please move on? Okay. So just to you understand, I talked about performance bikes, right? This is where we come from. Just so you know what that means, right? I'll show you now 20 seconds of a commercial, but it really shows the kind of bikes we do, right? And this is what we know.
Respect is earned the old-fashioned way. And greatness is built one victory at a time. Up there you are alone, with nowhere to hide. Any sign of weakness and you will be exposed.
Okay, that's it. So you've seen MotoGP bikes, these very fast ones. They go 370 kilometers an hour, faster than Formula One. You've seen enduro bikes going through the desert, 6 hours, 7 hours, extremely hard endurance environments, right? You've seen motocross. This is really where we're from. Bikes are built for this. This is what we know. That means very challenging requirements to the vehicles, to the technology we need. Challenging for our supply chain, challenging for manufacturing, challenging also to sell and market it. And since we kind of want to prove we are very good, we are very big in motorsports. We participate in a lot of championships, and our goal is to win every championship that we're in. And this is of course challenging because you have to win kind of every day then, right? But this is where we're from. So why I'm here, it's an invitation for open innovation. What I'd like to share with you today is we know the motorcycle world, we're new to bicycles, and what are the differences in the industries. I'd like to point this out, and what are the challenges for us. And all these challenges are opportunities, right, for startups and suppliers. So what are the differences in markets? I'm pointing out just a few. There are many. There are also many similarities, right? Two-wheelers, right? You could call them all automotive or mobility. But I pointed out now these. So control over design, engineering, intensity, and so forth. So we have, in motorcycles, total control over design. We design the whole thing, from the button to the colors, to the frames, to the motors, to the performance, every aspect of a vehicle, okay? We don't, or we're very little in bicycles. We have the full engineering capability to engineer the whole thing, right? And test everything. We've got labs. Not so, right, in bicycles. Powertrain is ours. In bicycles, it's not, right? Control over UX, as I said, even the buttons we do, and I'll show you that later. Not so, right? You buy components ready-made, and this is what you have in bicycles. The CAN bus is very important, right? This is totally ours. It's not in bicycles. Supply chain, for us, is very close. We've been very broad. It's still now rather close. And that was very important during COVID, right? So it's something we appreciate. When we open to suppliers, of course, all around the world, but there is a benefit in being close, we've realized. The precision in manufacturing, right, is of course a very different standard. And my colleague here, Mike, knows all about it and can talk about it if anyone's interested. It is very different in bicycles, and tolerances are much, much higher. And we own the digital twin, and that has a lot of benefits, and we don't in bicycles. So you understand what we're talking about. For example, you know, we design motorcycles from scratch, not only digitally, but we also build clay models. Every single model we built is actually also built in clay, and we spend months on that, several months in this stage. And you think, why on earth, right, in this digital world would you do something like this? It is because you can sit on it. And it is absolutely important for the UX and the feeling, right, to know exactly that the geometry is perfect for the intended persona, for the intended bike, in its segment, in the environment it's meant to run, and for the goal that the persona would probably want to pursue. So we do this, and then we revise this until something is finished, right? And only then do we start the R&D and do the mechanics and everything. And only then do we look for suppliers. Engineering intensity, we've got labs. This alone, right, is an acoustic lab, right? 3 million euro to test acoustic emissions. We test emissions of other stuff. We do simulations heavily. We've got a high-performance cluster looking at quantum computing for simulations, just for aerodynamics and thermodynamics. All sorts of, we've got about 25 labs like this. That's required to get all the components and the whole system consisting of the components to work right, to deliver a unique experience, okay? The powertrain, be it a powered two-wheeler, powertrain is very important. We design these things completely ourselves, we build them ourselves. And even though we use platforms now across the various brands, every single motor on every single model will be unique in its characteristic. So the mechanics may be very similar, but we have all sorts of levers, right, and parameters to change to make it a unique motor in the end. So this is very important, right? Otherwise, what's the point of a different model if it is not different, even within our fleet, let alone towards the competition? So another one is the UX. This may not sound like much or look like much, but right, we design everything, right? Every button. We've got a whole team just doing buttons. Why? Because when you ride a motorbike, you're not meant to ever look actually even at the dashboard, even though we also designed this dashboard, right? You have to look at the road. you have to look at what is ahead of you, especially these sportive motorbikes, right, that are very fast. So how you control, has to be totally intuitive. You must never think what it is, where's this button, right? And there's only so few things you can do. So for us, we spend endless time, right, getting these levers right, these buttons right, etc., and then how to interact with this and how you interact with the motorbike. So this is what I call UX, right? But also how you sit on it, right? The bike gives you feedback, right? It's very important that you actually feel it, right? We say you ride with the butt, actually, in motorbikes, right? The canvas is the thing you don't see. You could think of it as the nervous system. We as humans wouldn't ever exist without a nervous system, right? It's what connects all the parts to each other. It makes us a whole, right? So the canvas for us is totally important, right? Connecting all the various control systems, the sensors, the motors, and everything. And it's not just important in order to build a unique experience and make it special. It also has the benefit of being able to give a dealer a much better experience. We have a very different relationship with dealers in motorcycles. They get from us this system, we've developed that 15 years ago, that connects to the bike and connects to our back end and does all the diagnostics, right, and does the software updates and, tells you how to repair things. Thank you. And there's even augmented reality in it, right? You just point it at the bike, and it shows you, okay, if you want to replace this and that, this is where you start, and this is where you'll find the screw. Take this off, then take this off, and this only works, right? I'll come to that because of the digital twin, but also because of the canvas, right? We have this complete connection to the canvas here on the vehicle, and we've designed it, and we know exactly what it does, right? So the canvas is it's invisible, but it's totally indispensable. Supply chain, I mentioned that before, right? The closer, the more flexible, and the faster we are, right? We've seen in COVID just how important it is if you lose the connection. We've actually gained a lot of market share during COVID because we went live again faster, ahead of the competition, and we made about 20% market share increase in 1 year alone because we were faster, right? Classically, the cycles were yearly, it was okay, but going forward, flexibility gets ever more important. So for us, it's also important that we get more value add in Europe. Not everything, of course, right? But more value add in Europe, in addition to all the innovation that's happening here. Build precision. Again, Mike is here. Building things like that go like 370 kilometers an hour or run for hours and hours through the desert, right? That's very, very high precision. That's very important for us. Bicycles generally are not there, in our experience. We have to spend a lot of validation, of testing, of convincing that, they get better. Digital twin. What I'm going to show you now, right, is an animation. I'm going to show you and tell you afterwards what that has to do with the digital twin. So this was all rendered, right? It looks 100% real. It looks as real as if you had done a video. It's rendered in Unreal, a game engine. We do now a lot of rendering for pictures, for videos, for animations. We even have an online interactive experience on our websites for the 3D configurator. For us, that's very important. That's a way to go, right? To give much more value-add experiences to the customer very early on, to be able to explain the product better. Videos will be very important for forever, real-life videos, to get the emotional impact across. But to explain the bike and see close-ups, interact with it, configure it, understand it better, be sure about it. This is all done with renderings. And this we can only do, and we've built a whole tool chain now to do all these things for all the models going forward, right? Overall, 440 models we produce in motorcycles. And we can only do this because we have done the engineering before, and we have the cut files. In bicycles, the interesting thing is, in bicycles we'd have an even bigger need, in fact, to do renderings, because also in bicycles, dealers have to order very early, much earlier before the products arrive, what they want to purchase from us. And this is when we don't actually have the physical products yet. So we don't have proper visuals. They come very late. So in bicycles, it would be more important for us to be able to render, and that's where we don't have the cut files, right? We don't engineer, and a lot of the suppliers are not actually doing cut files either. So we can't ever combine anything, so we can't do all these things, which is a pity. The other thing why this is interesting, so we do all this, and we are now market leading. We're ahead of all the car companies and the luxury brands in our ability to render and do animations, and also online. All of this was created with startups. We were just aware of the pain. We were aware of the potential of game engines. But it was actually startups, a group of startups that came to us and said, hey, you know what? Game engines are going to be important, especially this one. We know how this works. And not only will you need a demo of that, you will actually want even a tool chain. It'll be so important to you. You will want a tool chain to actually industrialize the whole process. So you can do it constantly, cost-effectively. So we've worked now 4 years on it with 2 startups and together with Epic and Google to be the first actually then that does that on an ongoing basis. Very great example of corporate working with startups together. Now we even have a virtual team. So 2 teams within Pierer Mobility. One is my team, and 2 startups actually have a virtual team. We actually decide together now for the whole year of all the productions we're doing. Well, that was it. Those were hopefully the key takeaways for you are, we as OEM can only grow if we do something special, if we produce special products. In order to create special products, we need to add value in a lot of areas. We need to have control, right, and need to be creative in a lot of areas. In bicycles, it's very different today, right? The OEMs don't have the kind of control, right? They're very reliant on the tier ones. So we think also this is going to consolidate in Europe. Only players with unique profiles will remain, as in other industries. So that requires, we think, in our opinion, a new balance between tier 1s, tier 2s, startups and OEMs. And that means, I think, plenty of opportunities for all of us to create better products together. And that would be my key message. With this QR code, you can come to our partner webpage. You can tell us anytime who you are, what you have, and what you'd like to offer, and why you think that would help us. We'll look at it. We do this on an ongoing basis. We look at about 2,000 startups a year in any field, any technology. So please talk to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Andreas. Thank you. I suppose, like, there's a team, the whole team working around buttons. I guess Very interesting. And I was also very impressed that I think when we confirmed that we were going to invite Andreas, the first thing he asked was about, hey, you know, like, are there startups? Are there more startups that I can connect with in Taiwan? This is his first time in Taipei, so a big welcome again. And if there's any startups here that are interested in connecting with him to understand a little bit more in terms of how they work with startups, it's pretty impressive, right? Every year, his team actually interact with 2,000 startups. I suppose you can at least learn a thing or two from each other. They also work with other big corporates. And I think, you know, the spirit of the Bike Venture program and also with Anchor Taiwan and Anchor Asia is really to encourage more of that. So thank you again, Andreas. And later on, please feel free to connect with him and ask him questions. Next up, as I mentioned a little bit already, we have another speaker flying in from Germany, but she is originally from Taiwan. Woo! Thank you. So KMC, I think a lot of you are probably familiar with. The biggest chain company, at least if not one of, but I think pretty much the biggest chain company in the world from our little island, Taiwan. She is based in Germany. She has been there for, I believe, 5 years or so. And this time, she's going to bring her insights to the Bike Venture Innovation Salon. And with her background in Taiwan and also the last 5 years in Europe, I believe that there are a lot of interesting insights that she can share with us. In Taiwan, we have a lot of components companies. There's probably also something that we can learn from the KMC experience. So without further ado, let's put our hands together for Deborah. Woo! Thanks.
Thank you, Elisa, and thank you for coming. I'm very honored to share the information. Being a Taiwanese based in Germany for 5 years, and I think what I'm going to share is not it's quite different compared with Andreas. In fact, really, I fully agree with Andreas. In Europe, there are so many startup companies with a very great innovation. So this is a very good occasion that we can interact together. But in fact, 30 minutes is definitely not enough for me to share what I can share with you, because it's a lot of information. 30 minutes is definitely not enough. And so I will start. Okay. Why? Maybe some of you may feel curious why you're based in Germany. Why? The company mission for us is given by my boss, Robert Wu. He's the chairman of TVA. And my mission to be in Germany is to connect and collect the need of consumer in Europe, connect with what we can provide the best value of Taiwan bicycle industry. So it's my honor to share and connect both sides. And first, I would like to share with you one video which cost me 2 e-bikes. Okay.
What if we could change the way we think about cycling? For the ambitious ones, the urban trendsetters, or even the next generation. What if your ride was made safer? Are you okay?
I'm doing great.
Smarter.
Hello, please order my usual breakfast.
Your order has been placed.
Thanks, have a nice day.
I mean, this kind of smarter. And this. I found a faster route. And let's not forget the fun part. What if your bike was like a friend that knows you well? Really well. A friend that not only cares about you, but also others. And themselves. What if your bike could guide you, even in the dark.
Flo, take me to my friend.
To the most important things in life. What if we never stop asking, what if? For a smarter and safer ride for you and your community.
Okay. This video is exactly what I see in Europe. It's e-mobility, it's intelligent, it's linked to our daily life. So this is the future of the industry we are in. And the cost for me for this video is, after I see the video for 10 times, I purchased 2 e-bike. I think it's very common for all of us, most of us. In the past, I really feel, oh, e-bike is for senior. We really, leisure sporter, we would like to have a non-e-bike, but this video changed my mind completely. So, and this is exactly what I have seen in Europe. But e-mobility, intelligent, yeah. And, okay, today the main topic is about innovation. So I would like to share with you what innovation mean. Innovation means new. Innovation means creative. Most important of all, innovation means we can develop something, bring the real benefit to our community. This is innovation. And in fact, Anchor Taiwan is a very amazing example for innovation because he tried to link the startup, he's tried to link something so creative together with us. Anchor is exactly amazing example of innovation. Yeah, so what I have seen in Europe. Okay, I think most of you would follow and agree with my opinion. Innovation in Europe. E-bike started from Europe, right? If anyone disagree, can tell me, okay? Okay, e-bike, cargo bike, gravel bike, and touring bike. What I mean touring bike is bike packing with long distance or short distance touring. So all those 4 bikes are from Europe. And also, I see consumer behavior in Europe have changed. For instance, there are more and more people use bike for work. Okay, according to Market Survey Association, currently roughly 22% of people use bike for work. And this is still not so common in Asia and in US. So this is something I feel innovative. Because innovation doesn't only link to product itself. It also links to market trend. It also links to consumer behavior. This is all included in innovation. So I have seen that bike to work, bike for holiday, the touring bike, bike packing, these are so new and also getting more popular in Europe. And also, I see because more people use bike in Europe, and for young generation, consumer behavior have changed. In the past, when we need a new bike, we go to the bicycle shop. But nowadays, especially young generation, they feel so convenient to purchase bicycle online. And also, there's more and more consumer, they don't really care about the ownership, but they would like to try different type of bicycle when they need it. So this create a new trend. For instance, bicycle sharing. I think bicycle sharing is, for us, is very familiar with, but bicycle leasing and bicycle subscription may be new for especially the consumer in Asia. So later on, I will focus a little bit more on what's about bicycle leasing and bicycle subscription. And also, because of more consumer, they use bicycle sharing and bicycle leasing, especially bicycle leasing and bicycle subscription, there's a new market come up. We call it young second-hand bicycle market. And the growth rate roughly is about 5% per year. And of course, this is an opportunity for us for business as well. like replacement, and also like platform for linking bicycle, for leasing and subscription. Yeah, and also I see the bicycle type have been changed in Europe. In the past, we always know that most of the bicycle shop, the space in bicycle shop is so limited. And in Europe, more and more, I see big bicycle shop. Sometimes I feel they are bicycle supermarket, because when you need a bicycle, you enter a shop, you can find everything with so many choices. So you can get everything from the bicycle shop. It's so huge. Later on, I will share some picture for it. And also, service channel have been changed. In the past, when we need a bicycle maintenance, some end user, they may do it by themselves, and some of them may bring their bike to bicycle shop. And nowadays, we can also get a bicycle maintenance and service from automobile channel. Yeah, this is something very new and not so common in Asia. And also, I see more and more, this is also the topic linked to Andreas sharing, cross-border collaboration and cooperation. So I see that many non-original bicycle enterprise, they join the cooperation together. They are from IT, from IoT, or even from public transportation like a Deutsche Bahn. Those we link together and try to create and invite more people join cycling. Yeah. And I would like to explain and share a little bit. I think bicycle sharing is a very common one. Most of us know about it. But bicycle subscription and bicycle leasing are maybe new for us, for Asian people. Okay, what's the difference between bicycle sharing, bicycle subscription, and bicycle leasing? Bicycle sharing is when we visit a city, we need a bicycle for short distance, for short time, so we go to bicycle sharing. And the bicycle subscription is the member join some certain platform, and they pay a fixed. Usually, there's not a big amount of fee, member fee. For instance, I see that in US or even in Europe, it's very common, $99 per month, and then consumer can choose what the bicycle they need and to use for short term. Yeah. This is bicycle subscription. And for bicycle subscription, consumer can choose the bicycle, any type of bicycle, and to rent it for short term. Usually, for instance, 3 days, a week, a couple of weeks, usually not more than 1 month. So this is subscription, just like when you rent a bike, when you rent a book in library. So you can subscribe it whenever, whatever you need. And for bicycle leasing, it's getting more common and popular. Bicycle leasing is in fact very similar, like we lease a car, no matter for company use or for private use. It's just like 合运租车, exactly the same way, but it's not car, but bicycle. Yeah. So it's easier for us to understand this bicycle leasing. And usually the contract is 3 years. And after 3 years end, and we can, the user, consumer can decide if they would like to purchase the bicycle or renew the contract to get a new bicycle. So it's exactly the same system as a 合运租车 in Taiwan. Yeah. Okay. Okay, why bicycle leasing so popular? I will explain and share the reason. Because in Europe, government really support to build up the infrastructure more. So the cycling path is really built every year. And there's some figure, target figure. In Europe, we hope the government was supposed to build up the cycling path up to 2027, 80,000 kilometers more. And up to 2030, 100,000 kilometers more. So this will be much more friendly and convenient for cyclists. And another reason is if we compare the mean for transportation, a bicycle cost only 20 cents euro based on every kilometer ride. So this is very cost saving. And also there are several advantages when company offer bicycle leasing to their employee. Tax saving, and also can the social security insurance pay is lower, and they are and this is a very good image for a company, and it's good for health, and most of employees, they will really appreciate the company can offer, their employer can offer bicycle as bicycle leasing for the employee. And also, this is very good ESG, so friendly to environment and good for health, and also it can help on the traffic relief. Those are the advantages of bicycle leasing. And also after, as I mentioned, usually the bicycle leasing contract is 3 years. After 3 years end, the user can decide if they would like to purchase the bicycle with a discount. And it's usually about 40% discount based on the purchase price. And also this is very good for ESG. This is very sustainable. Yeah. This is the rough information I would like to share why with government support, this is so important because it provides tax incentive. Especially, I would like to take example of Italy. And based on usually government provide tax incentive, every country are different, and also every bicycle type may be different. For instance, nowadays more tax incentive are focused on are more applied for like cargo bike, e-cargo. I would like to take example of Italy. In Italy, for e-cargo, company or user can have 2,000 tax incentive for e-cargo, and also for cargo bicycle as well. And for all bike, non-cargo bike, any user can receive 750 euro per bike for tax incentive. So this is really very helpful to encourage more people use the bicycle. And this is just an example. There's more and more bicycle leasing and bicycle subscription is in fact just a platform. Okay, the platform is in the middle, which provide, they need to connect with bicycle maker, bicycle manufacturer, or even IBD brand. So IBD brand offer the bicycle to the platform, and platform work together with a dealer, and the dealer provide the service and the bicycle to consumer. This is basically, yeah, so bicycle sharing, bicycle leasing, the platform is so important. And this is the platform, which I just take the example of Germany. Those are the bicycle leasing platform that we can choose in Germany. Just in every country, maybe different. And how it work? Usually when employer or employee need a bicycle, they will check, they can connect to a specific app, so they can know, okay, where they live, where the company is, and so they can choose the location and connect with the platform which is convenient for them or fit their need. And they can choose the bicycle and read the different policy, including service, including the maintenance, including the insurance. Usually for bicycle leasing and subscription, maintenance and insurance mostly are covered. So consumer, they do not need to worry about the insurance and maintenance. It's very convenient. So yeah, flexible term about service, about cancellation. Yeah, this system is exactly like 合运租车 in Taiwan. Okay, and most of the platform, they work with dealers. So the dealer can provide the maintenance and the service whenever consumer or the user, they have question or need the maintenance. It's very convenient. Yeah, we connect with the web, the app. Yeah, and so that was about the bicycle leasing. Most of the platform, they provide bicycle leasing and bicycle subscription at the same time. So it's just up to the consumer's need. They can choose. And also what I see from Europe is the bicycle shop type, the size have been changed. Okay, I can see more bicycle. I call it supermarket, but supermarket doesn't link to the quality or the brand level. This is the one of the example. And the photo which I'm going to share are only for one bicycle shop, only one. So when I enter, I can see a lot of bicycle with many different brands. So I can choose for that. All type of bicycle and carry many, many different brands. Yeah. Those are for one shop. So the space in one shop is so huge. And I can choose the bicycle, and I can choose the helmet, the jersey, the cycling shoes, almost everything in one shop. Those photos are all from one shop. Yeah. And also, it's very important that when consumer choose a bicycle, the shop provide body fitting and also the test ride. So I can see that's getting more and more in Europe and also in Germany. More bicycle shops, they have different location and then provide very big space. And this is so convenient and interesting for consumer. Those photos are only for one shop. Yeah. Okay. And what I can see in EU is the passion of cycling is so, the heat of cycling. So this is part of the life. No matter for commute or for work, bike for work, for commute, or for leisure time, bicycle is very important for the Europeans. Yeah. Okay, and what I see in Europe is to encourage more cyclists and also to link to young generation. IoT and IT, we need some innovation because for traditional part maker or traditional bicycle maker, what we can think on innovation could be limited. So nowadays, it's very good that we can have more cross-border collaboration and cooperation with different industry, with different startup company from US, from Europe, from Asia. This is very important. And in Europe, we can see that consumer, they choose the bicycle and use the bicycle and work together with based on IT app. It's bring much more convenient. It's exactly like the video which I share with you. It's part of our life. Okay, why I should consider as a startup when I sit in Europe, in Germany, because the culture, the culture and the language different. The location, KMC global register is in the very south of Germany, and it's very countryside, and I can hardly see anyone with black hair in my area. So I have to learn the language, I have to learn the culture different, I have to really learn to adapt myself deep in local. So this is very interesting and very challenging and fun. Yeah. And also because we need to operate a company, hire the employee, so we need to learn something new, which is really quite different compared with my mother company in Taiwan. Yeah. Even though KMC Group already 48 years, and before I moved to Germany, I was leading KMC bicycle chain global marketing and sales for 20 years. But my experience sometimes cannot be used in Germany. So I have to really set myself to zero, reset, and to learn to respect the culture different there, start over from zero. And so I learned the company operation, learn the tax, learn the regulation. But really something I would like to share with all of you is there are so many resources in Europe. We got a lot of support from local European bicycle associations. For instance, CONABI, ZIV, and CIE. I joined a member, and so we have routinely, the member meeting monthly. And so I learned a lot about ESG. I learned about the product passport. I learned that, okay, the regulation of CBAM, those are very important for us. If I stand from the point of view of Taiwan bicycle industry, we definitely need to be aware of this. How to design our product to meet the sustainability, and what's the regulation about the battery, how to modify our design, our innovation. So it's getting much more important than cross-border collaboration to work with a startup, no matter startup in Europe, or connect with the investor in Asia, or the startup company in Asia, link and connect together with the investor in EU or in US. Global. This is a global market, and I am very happy that I have the opportunity to be in Germany to learn and try to learn. Every day is learning. Learning is never end. It's lifelong learning, and it's very interesting. And so if any of you, it's difficult for me to share everything. What I would like to share is much more than what I can present today. So if you would like to know more information, especially about the market, about the resources you may need in Europe, please contact me. Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Deborah. Well, I think, from our two speakers, I think one thing in common is that it doesn't matter how big their company is already. Constantly, you need to reinvent yourself and basically just like be humble, right? A lot of big companies, they might feel like, oh, those startups, they're so small. But a lot of time, it is the small startups that really bring, this disruptive either business model or technology. And I think that's the spirits that we want to bring to Taipei Cycle. So I think with that, they will stick around for questions if you want to exchange contact information with them. Let's first put our hands together to thank them again for their sharing. Thank you so much. Woo! Thank you. And thank you so much for being part of the Bike Venture program. So basically from first day, the Bike Venture Summit. Yesterday, we have the pitch and happy hours. Today, we have this. Later on, we still have some closed door events and so on and so forth. Sunday, we have the social rides. Some of you, I know, will be joining. And hopefully you have enjoyed the session, and hopefully you have made some new connections that would be catalyst for a lot of further conversations and actions. We are hoping to make our ways to Eurobike in July. So for our friends from Europe or around the world who will be there, please stay in touch. Otherwise, for those that I may not be able to see afterwards, then thank you so much for being here. And again, my name is Elisa Chiu. I'm the founder and CEO of Anchor Asia, also known as Anchor Taiwan. And I'm also the initiator for Bike Venture. Thank you for being here. With that, let's enjoy some networking. And by the way, we have some beers at the back. This might be too early for some of you, but in case you are ready, go to the back. We also have some guai guai as well. So enjoy some snacks, some beers. And until next time, have a nice one. Thank you.